Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us again in our Thoughts On video. Caroline.
Welcome back. If you haven't watched the recording on the Eye of Ra, on the channeling of the Eye of Ra, you can click in the description. There will be the link. And so, Leo, how do you feel after this channeling?
I felt very, very joyful throughout. The energies were very, very joyful. And um, yes, I just feel more and more I'm integrating these energies. It's like I'm merging more and more with Ra and these collectives and all of this. And yes, so like I could say it doesn't, we were speaking on Ren before and it's kind of seemed like Ren was coming in at times and then maybe the Lotus Mantis collective. But more and more I just feel them more merging into this joyful and peaceful and light-hearted expression. I don't know how to, it's radiant, a more and more radiant expression, and it's like they're all in there, that's not, they're all a part of the mix. So it's and they don't mind not, you know, separating. They actually quite enjoy harmonizing in this way, in that way. So that's what I've just been experiencing energetically. In terms of the message itself, it was I loved it. I loved everything. I loved their sort of big picture message, that a reminder that all things are portals, or you could say all symbols are portals to, what different energies and things like this. And I love their description of the Eye of Ra portal, how it's a very noble, radiant, golden energy that you can describe it as. And it's about, yes, you could say it's about ascension, but really what is ascension? It's, as they say, ascending our experience of life, growing, increasing, expanding, making our experience more vibrant. um so yes, those what stuck out to me.
Mhm. And um, to respond to you, to reply to you, as for the being how to say this? Yes, it's like if I feel that today's channeling, it's like if you were, not you, but the energies of Ra were. It's like, yes, if they are more and more joyful and happy. But today, I could feel that it was even more, not only just joyful, but even more powerful, like a mix between a power and a joy.
Yeah,
And I could feel that from you, or the energies of Ra, of being more and more empowered,
yeah,
more and more shining bright, more and more speaking with passion, which was not the case, which is not always the case, depending on the topic. And it's like if they were more, yes, fiery and passionate, and also joyful and playful in some ways. Um,
yeah,
so that's really really interesting.
yeah,
And yeah, please.
yeah. I think more and more it really comes down to my capacity. I think there are always those things. There are always, vibrant, powerful, loving, joyful, peaceful, all these things. But I think it's just my capacity, my ability to really express those things is just increasing. I think that's what it is. And so, I mean, and it makes sense to me. Um, they could only transmit so much of their of life, of love, light, life through us. We can only, our bodies can only handle so much energy, and it's about increasing that step by step.
And as for me, about how I feel, I am quite very happy, because for once I don't have these stuck energies within
Oh,
my heart. So I
yes.
am not
Yay.
complaining today.
That's great.
And so I am very, very happy. Uh, so as you say, maybe we increased our capacities
Mhm.
to channel. And so now I am able to handle the influx of the stream coming through.
Mhm.
So I'm very, very happy. And as for the message, I was, to be honest, I have a confession to make. I don't know what the Eye of Ra is about, and I had just no idea of. I just know the symbol, that this is okay for me. Well, to me, it is an Egyptian symbol. That's the only thing I knew about the Eye of Ra. I had no clue. I did not do any research. I just jumped into this channeling. And so I really had to master my mind, because a part of me wanted to pop up more and saying, oh my gosh, I don't know what this is, and
Yeah.
what if they ask a question to Ashtar, what will they respond? And so I was really trying to handle myself, trying to step back as much as I could to really let Ashtar talk, and try to clear my thoughts, even though sometimes I had my own thoughts coming through, and I was thinking, oh, okay, this is that. So I had to really try to be as clear as possible in my thoughts, and also to step back as much as I could in this channeling, in order to accept whatever words come through, whatever I am saying. But a part of me was still there, kind of being not anxious, but I don't know whether it's right or wrong, or whether it will be a mistake of me channeling. I don't know, and so I am kind of very often seeking for the approval of Ra. If he replies, but depending on the reaction, or it helps me also, me, Caroline, just to release more, or to trust more. Of course, I trust Ashtar, but I just don't trust myself, on my own ability to channel, to transform energies or something into words about a topic I don't know about. And so yes, I really had to deal with myself during this channeling. And but it's funny, because it's like more and more Ashtar and Ra are making some jokes between themselves. And so this is not just them talking to us humans, but it's also like them
Yeah.
making jokes between themselves, and being happy, and just enjoying this time, and being so excited. And so that's also very interesting.
Yeah, I think a part of that, I think what they're trying to show us is they're not that much they're not really that different from us. I think a lot of us we put them on extremes. We either think that they're evil and bad and gonna conquer our world like aliens, or put them on a pedestal and consider them like godlike. I think they're much more harmonized and mellow in that way than we think. And I think they're just trying to show us that as well, that they understand human jokes in a way. They understand what's going on. They understand the energetics, the physics, and all that. What's going on. They understand that laughter is extremely powerful way to uplift energies, and so I think they're expressing all of that. And I think yes, a big part of that is to help us um, transform our maybe shatter in a way, but also just transform our limiting beliefs about who and what we are, and who and what we think ETs and all of this are, and yes,
And I think that as they have, at least in my perception, as they have higher frequencies, or they radiate more than us, or something like this, I think that this state of being, having high frequencies, also goes with being so joyful and
yes,
playful, and being able to laugh.
yes,
And as there are more, something compared to us, maybe more 5D, 6Ds, or whatever the dimensions they are in, or octave, or then they have this ability to, yeah, to feel not only to be joyful, but also to play with one another, and to laugh, and to yeah, and to make more and more and to make jokes. And this is interesting that they allow themselves to make jokes on our channel, and that's great.
Yes. Yeah, they don't take themselves so seriously, I think. And I remember that they actually mentioned this in a prior video. They were saying, um, they were joking like, do you think that we're serious? Do you think we're all so serious? No, and they're just saying, and yes, the joy frequency is very high. It requires a power too, and I think that yes, it requires a little bit of a breaking up in a way, a shaking up. Yes, that's a better word. A shaking up of these sorts of more condensed energies that we've grown accustomed to, that we've grown ourselves, these stagnant energies. And once we shake it up, we realize that yeah, this experience is so much more enjoyable, it's more fun. And so if this is much more fun than I was when I was stagnant, well, how much more joyful and vibrant our higher selves and higher guides and all of this. So I think that yes, they're just showing us more and more.
Yeah, and I also remember a channeling. You're right about Ashtar saying, but we can make jokes, and and so it's like if there are more and more proof, not proving, but yes, they can make jokes about us, but also with themselves, with
Mhm.
one another, and they enjoy jokes, and yes, and they are not that much different, at least on this, and they radiate in that way. What I think was interesting about this channeling is also that they try to be to warn us a little bit about this
Ah,
Eye of Ra portal, about these high currents of energies. That if we are not that ready, then we have to do some kinds of preparation before tapping into.
yes, and it's really I totally agree. I think that was a really important point that they were emphasizing. And what I also got from it was another analogy. They were talking about the another analogy I think is let's say maybe this is a bit crude analogy, but I think it does work. Let's say taking a drug or a very high dose of something, a high dose supplement. When you intake that into your body, it's going to have a very energetic effect, whether if it's like a yeah, whether if it's a high dose drug or whatever, a stimulant or whatever, you're going to have a lot of energy coursing through your body. And so I think this is why it's a very similar thing. The portal of a drug, the drug portal is quite different quality than the Eye of Ra portal, but I think the idea of too much energy is too much is the same, in that if our system and our body is not well aggregated and the energy isn't flowing nicely and smoothly and powerfully and in this way vibrantly, then it can lead to uh, yes, frying of the system. And I've experienced this many times, actually. It took me a while to understand that I was frying my system, and I was by by like forcing too much and all this, and my limiting beliefs and all this. Um, but I realized more and more that yes, it can be forced, or it can be also you can be electrocuted, really. And so I think more and more that is very, very important for us to to just plan out or to really begin to identify sort of pillar themes or pillar desires maybe in our life that we find our thoughts are constantly gravitating towards. If we become aware that our thoughts are throughout the day are constantly revolving around money or this other person or you know this other experience, food or whatever it may be, and we feel, you know, that it's unhealthy, imbalanced, then that's a sign that we should begin to balance these things. And maybe a good way is just to incorporate more of the healthier habits. And again, that's what I've been doing. And I find when I do that, it becomes much easier and smoother to prune out the let's say unhealthier habits, because as you engage in more and more healthy habits, you find that you really want to spend more time with this, and it's like you have to practically. prune out other things you're doing in order to spend more time on this. And that's what I'm really experiencing now, the sort of shedding, the pruning of habits that no longer uplift, and the installing of more and more new habits that do uplift. Yeah.
And I think I do the same, you know,
Hmm.
because in order, yes, to, you're right. When we begin to have healthier habits, then we want to continue them because we feel that it has an effect, positive effect on our
Yeah.
body or just on our minds. And I think that's something that we are drawn to, maybe more and more. Um, but this and this is also helping us, I think, because most of the time they also emphasize the need for meditation, coming back within, being silent. And I think that in our day-to-day life, there are lots of solicitations. You know, we are watching television, there is music, we listen to the radio, we are having conversation, we listen to so many different things, we are on social media, and this is maybe probably too many, too much for our brain. And if we want to be able just to tap into higher wisdom or connect more or just be at peace, I think, then we need this time to get rid of these things, and to be more silent for a few minutes in order just for ourselves, just to be
Yeah.
able to slow down just our day-to-day rhythm.
Hmm.
And by slowing down, then it has also a positive effect on our body, on our physical body. You know, our heartbeat may be, yeah, more slower. I would say
Yeah.
we may experience less stress just because we are just having some deep breath and cutting off all the media or everybody around, and by pulling ourselves away from the world. I
Yeah.
would say it's also a way to protect ourselves and to make the pressure kind of drop more dropping.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. I think, yeah, rest. I think that's what we're saying here is that we really need to remember how to rest, because I think a
Mm.
lot of us, we've also we assume, we attribute rest to doing something that we really want, or doing something that really gives us some pleasure, when that can be, that's not bad, but and could be like, watching Netflix, or doing this thing. And again, these aren't bad things, but I think um, true rest really is, as you say, when we disconnect from really almost all stimuli, all external stimuli, and we can really rest, go within and rest and allow things to settle, because Ra has spoken about this before, and they're gonna record a video. There's gonna be a transmission on this idea of too much life, this idea of what's actually happening is, as we go about our day to day, we're interacting with life, we're interacting with each other, and through this exchange and interaction, there is life that accumulates in a way, or life that we share with each other. So I share life with you, you share with life with me. When I listen to music or watch something, there's also an exchange. I share life with that music and the people that made that music and the people that made that show and all that, and they're sharing life with me as well. And I think what happens is, yes, you could say it's in a physical way, there's a little bit of this energy in, energy out at play, but also this idea that as we go about our day to day, and we interact with this world of ours, we at times, life just kind of naturally begins to um, coalesce in certain areas around our body, within our body, and the flow begins to kind of, um let's say, staticky. It's not as clear, it's not as flowing and vibrant as it was, let's say, when, right after, in the morning, and we did our morning routine, sort of life flowing protocol, and we're all pumped up and everything. As we go about our day, it's like we interact and we do these things, we listen and we speak and we do all this, and so the life begins to kind of coalesce and become staticky around and within our body. And I think that's why Ashtar and Ra and our guides and so many of our guides, human guides as well, speak on the importance of working with our body and so that we could really get the life that kind of grew stagnant throughout the day or kind of piled up throughout the day, we can get it flowing again. And I think, yes, a big part of that returning of flow is the rest. We need to really rest and let these settle. And then from there we can begin to get the energies like pumped up again. And then so this I think this is more and more this sort of human cycle or routine that's always naturally ongoing. It's just like this is we're becoming more and more aware of this framework of what is actually going on here. And yes, yeah.
And to me, I had a misunderstanding of the word to rest, because to me, resting in silence meant, okay, I will just go to sleep and
Mm,
I will rest in silence. And so when they said, yeah, you should rest in silence more, etc., I did not understand because I was quite sleeping already way too much. And so there was no need for me to sleep more. And so I had um, yes, Ra explained to me the definition, of resting in silence, which is just to, yes, cut off the solicitation around and just center within myself. It's almost like a meditative state, it's just that you don't meditate but you just do nothing and try to cut away the television, the radio, everything, to just try to be in a silent place and come back within and just let it go. And this is resting,
yeah,
according to them.
yes.
But I know that yes, I had a misunderstanding of this word for few weeks and months because I didn't totally get it, and now I feel more and more, yes, the need throughout the day. And that's what many people, many scientists says, if we can meditate here and there, 2 minutes, 3 minutes throughout our day, just in order to let go the pressure of the work, of the
Hmm.
work environment, or of our activity. And as for the energies flowing, that's the same. Many people are saying, okay, that we should not be seated the whole day, that we should stand up, walk here, walk there, that we should just at least walk more. And as we are seated the most of the time for people who are working in a, I don't know, a co-working place or just behind the desk, you
Hmm.
know, we are sitting the most amount of time. And as you say, the energies cannot flow through, or uh, and and this is, yeah, we must activate our body, just move. We must move and and yes, make the energy, the pressure, and to release the pressure in some ways.
Yeah, yes, I agree.
Would you like to add something else, Leo?
I think that's it for me for now.
Hmm.
That's all that's coming to mind. But yes, that's it for me.
We are guided and being nudged even more to channel the
Oh
serious
yeah,
people,
you're right.
people coming from serious.
Yep. Yes.
I did not expect this, to be honest. And so yes, I think that this is even more like a push, a nudge that we have to connect with the Syrian, some Syrian collectives or
Yeah.
Syrian people, beings. So we'll see.
Yeah. I definitely feel in an upcoming soon recording they will come through
Mhm.
and yeah, I find that exciting. I'm
Mhm.
excited for that.
Mhm. Nice. So we hope you guys enjoyed this new episode on our thoughts. Um, Also, yes, feel free to write a comment if you wish, and we will record another video, which will be a channeled guided meditation on the Eye of Ra in 2 minutes.
Yes. See you guys there.
Bye bye.